Guys, I found someone on the internet with amazing sense. I found someone on the internet with amazing sense, simple logics, simple thinking, and I'm like, whoa, it is so refreshing to see people like these on the internet, like people with sense. Let's talk about it, shall we? Because you guys know that when the Epstein file came out and I read the details of it, I said, oh, this is just a compilation of everything. What they're saying happened, did not happen. And I said to you guys, the first red flag with Jay-Z's name being on the Epstein file is that it mirrors the details of the VMA Bandit lawsuit. And many people have been saying, you are a pedo lover. Someone said I'm a pedo lover because I have common sense and critical thinking and simple analytical skills. Like, it is so simple. There's absolutely no reason to overcomplicate things. And I see so many people making videos and saying that Jay-Z is done, and so many people in my comment section saying, get over it, he's done, and this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen, and that is gonna happen. And someone with sense came on my video that I did a while ago where I said Kanye remained silent on Jay-Z being in Epstein files. In that video, I said, in that video, I said, if Jay-Z was ever involved in stuff like those, we wouldn't need to wait on the Epstein file to know. Kanye would have told us. Kanye told us everything that man is capable of. So Shamrock M99. And there was one thing that Shamrock said that I didn't know, because again, I know that Pusha T is friends with Ye, but I don't know much about Pusha T. But this is what I've been saying. And I'm like, when I saw Shamrock's comments, I'm like, thank you, Almighty Father, there's someone else on the internet with common sense. Listen, I praise God that I found someone else with common sense in the comment section. I praise God because there's just a handful of people. And I said so many people want Jay-Z to go down, and if the allegations, let's say the allegations were true, why is it no one calling for Harvey Weinstein, Elon Musk, and Pusha T? It doesn't make sense. So, people have a personal vendetta. And this is how I say to you guys, you can know that this is an intentional takedown of Jay-Z, and it's coming from, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out, that video that I uploaded. The video is titled that Jay-Z flee the United States after Epstein file reveal. Check out that video and you'll see what I'm talking about. So Shamrock, man, this is the time I wish I had money to send you a gift card. A $50 or $100 Amazon gift card, because when I see people with common sense, I'm like, Jesus saves. Shamrock says, right? Because in the video title is Kanye remained silent on Jay-Z being in Epstein file. Shamrock says, because he's not in the file, if anyone take 1 second to look at it, someone called in 2019 to report something that happened in 1996. When Jay-Z wasn't even popular at the time, and trust me, Epstein would not have been hanging around with Jay-Z in 1996. That's true. When he was just releasing his first album. Also mentioned Pusha T, which was in high school at the time. Anyone can call in and make a false claim, but the DOJ said it in the report. And I said the call was made at the time when the banks were paying out money to the victims. I said it, and I said to you guys, the DOJ has it there as a disclaimer. But let's continue with what Shamrock says. Shamrock says, right, Pusha T was also mentioned, which was in high school at the time. Anyone can call in and make a false claim, which is what happened. That's why it's not a big deal. The FBI then followed up. There was no text messaging, no Jay-Z on their logs, no nothing. That's what I'm telling you. Someone just called in and made a fake claim, end of story. That's what I'm telling you guys. I've been saying it to you guys. The files are different from the list. The files are different from the list. And I said, this file is going to ruin a lot of innocent people's life because it contains, they just pulled everything. Even, I said, plumbers, people from the bank, people from insurance, this, that, all those people names were just generally mentioned. Some people names were just mentioned at casual. Just speaking at casual. They're not on the Epstein list. They're not on the list. And I said to you, this file has been out there. It has been out there, and I believe that's where the VMA bandit lawsuit came from. Because if you guys have been, that's the thing that you guys can be tricked so easily because you don't pay attention to details. You don't pay attention to details. I said many people had access to this file years ago. Years ago. Jay-Z is not on the list. But I cannot, as I've said, because some people think that this is defending Jay-Z. This is defending your common sense and your critical thinking skills. And if you are offended by someone telling you to think for yourself, you can't be so hungry for Jay-Z that you're willing to make yourself foolish. It's giving personal vendetta. What did Jay-Z do to you? When Nikki speaks about them being involved in ritual, when Nikki says he was in something with Aaliyah, even if it's not true, we can question that. Because we do see picture of Jay-Z and Aaliyah. And we see pictures of him with Aaliyah clothes, right? But anywho, guys, thank God there's someone on the internet thinking. Thank God. And you know what? I want to see where was Pusha T in 1996. I'm going to look it up for real as we're here. As we're here. It's just like that lawsuit that was filed with Odell Beckham Jr., Drewski. And I said, when I read the details, and when Drewski's attorney presented the information, they had logs of Drewski's whereabouts. Drewski was not even in the industry. It was on TikTok that I learned, and the people are making videos on TikTok telling you how you can get quick money. They're telling you whenever you see someone getting sued, just file a lawsuit. It doesn't have to be true because many of the celebrities will settle behind the scenes out of fear and shame. But hey, don't believe me. Why should you believe me? So I'm checking to see where was Pusha T in 1996. Was he a celebrity? In 1996, Pusha T was not yet a celebrity. He had already started rapping with his brother Malice as a part of what would become a duo Clipse. But they were still underground and hadn't broke into mainstream recognition until early 2000s when Pharrell signed them to Trak Entertainment. 1993 to 1996, Pusha T, born Terrence Thornton, began rapping in Virginia Beach with his brother Gene Thornton, later known as Malice. No Malice. They formed the duo Clipse around 1994, and at this stage they were owning their craft locally but had no major release or fame yet. 1999, Pusha T, then going by Trak, appeared on Kelly's single Good Stuff, produced by the Neptunes. This was one of his first notable industry features. 2001, Clipse was officially signed to Pharrell's Trak Entertainment under Arista Records. This marked their entry into the mainstream. 2002, their debut album, Lord Willing, dropped featuring hits like Grinding and When the Last Time. This was the moment they became widely recognized celebrity in 2002. So 1996, Pusha T He was just an aspiring rapper rapping with his brother. So, so in so in 1996, Pusha T, he was still in high school. He attended Princess Anne High School in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where he grew up after being born in New York City. He wasn't a celebrity at the time. He was just beginning to rap with his brother Malice, laying the groundwork for Clipse. Okay? So, he was born in 1977. In 1996, he was 19 years old, and he was just an aspiring rapper, no fame or connection to the industry, still on the ground, performing locally and developing his style. In 1996. 1997 released their first album, exclusive audio footage, though it was shelved and not widely distributed. And then 2002, breakthrough with Lord Willing on the Pharrell Star Trek Entertainment. You guys remember Grinding? That song was the banger, okay? It was a thing. But you know what, guys? We have to grow up at some point. We have to grow up at some point, and we can't allow money to lead us astray, because we talk about these celebrities and their love for money and how they're willing to do anything for money. And we need to take a step back and realize that some of us are just like them. Like, we're pointing that finger at the celebrity while the big finger is saying, what about you over here, bitch? We need to be careful, but I can't force you guys to believe the truth. It is up to everyone to find the truth for themselves. And no matter how hungry you are, you can't be so hungry that you want a man that has been accused of watching a crime to be held accountable, while you are not calling for the man that committed the crime. How does that even make sense? And this did not even happen. And as I've said to you guys, it was the biggest disclaimer on the DOJ file. They told you those were sensational reports. They said it. The reports were sensational. That's what they said. I said they have the list and they have the file. The list contains flight logs, date, time, money transaction, method of transportation, which girl or which boy. Was that person an adult? Was that person a minor? What happened? They have Epstein recorded everything, and Epstein was only rolling with the big guns. Those times back in 1996, Jay-Z looked as though he was malnourished. He could have never been in Epstein's circle. Jay-Z looked as though he never knew food. I always made joke about this, but it's true. That's how the guy looked. If you look at Jay-Z then, Jay-Z, you're gonna ask who is that. But anywho, guys, it's up to you to find your truth and stop being brainwashed. Peace.